Yes, guys, we're here. This is Rio Reacts, and we're ready to rock and roll, man. Gareth Southgate has announced that he's leaving the England team as England manager. Let's get into it. Yeah, I kind of saw it coming. I'm not surprised, if I'm honest. Listen, man, firstly, I must say, I think he's done an absolutely incredible job with England. Didn't get the trophy that we all wanted him to get, but I think he has done an incredible job. And I think, listen, if we look back when he took over the England job, where it was, what was the temperature, what was the vibe like around England squad? Were players skipping, jumping, whatever, bouncing into squads, happy to be there? I would probably linger on the side of not so much. No. Well, was there a togetherness in the group? No. Was there a healthy relationship with the media or healthy-ish relationship with the media? No. It was toxic. And that was September 2016 that he went in. And it's now 2024. So, man, this guy's he's had a long stint. And you look at it and you think, wow, 8 years, 102 games, 2 finals in big tournaments. You got into 2 European Championship finals and went as close as you can. Been to more finals than any England manager in history, by the way. But hasn't won it, obviously. World Cup 2018 semi-final, Euro 2021 final, World Cup quarter-final, and obviously the final in Euro 2024. Yeah, you look at it and you think, could he have done this differently? I think, yeah, tactically, you look at things he could have done differently. But at the end of the day, he's got to, his job is to win things. But I've seen a lot of people talk about it, and I agree, like, his job is to win things based on what? We've not been a country that is synonymous with winning. We're not used to winning. We've never gone into competitions expecting to get to the final or winning. Whereas he's actually changed that. He's changed the mindset of a football fan now for England. Football fans go to tournaments now expecting minimum to get to semi-final or final. Not exactly to win it, but to get, if we don't get to a final of this tournament, everyone would have been disappointed, I think. And I think that is down to Gareth Southgate and the players that he's picked over his tenure. You look at the way that he's managed this group. I think his ability to talk to the media in such a way that he gets you on side immediately. You could go into a meeting, I think, with him, or a press conference, and have all of your stats piled up together that would give you a compelling argument to say that he shouldn't be doing this and he's done this wrong. But he somehow finds a way of being able to turn you around and go, you know, actually, I'm with him. He's a very likeable character, a very likeable person. And these are all good traits and good managers need to be able to get squads, to get humans to kind of follow their lead. And I think he's done that to the nearest point to winning. But he just hasn't been able to win. But a lot of my observations around him haven't been about, I know it needed to be about, he isn't managing the squad properly, and he isn't, the way that the ambience in the place is this, that, and the other. Listen, I just look at him and think, when you walk into a job like that, you walk in and say to yourself, am I going to leave this? And my only hope will be, can I leave this place in a better state when I leave it? And I think, hands down, 100 times over, from when he walked in to where it is now, and he's leaving it as double finalists, losers, he has left this job in the hands of someone else in an absolutely wonderful place, and a team and a bunch of players that just need the guidance now to get them over the line. I even stopped watching England for a while. And he's become England manager, and over time, he's made all the other people enjoy watching England. He's made us debate and discuss European Championship finals. If you break that, if you just let that sink in, He's made us discuss England and our players and our team in finals. We were never near that before. So I think he deserves these flowers. He deserves these a tilt of the hat, and I think he deserves a lot of credit. I think he walks out of this job with huge credit, huge kudos for what he's done because of where he's brought this squad from in terms of morale, in terms of qualifications, in terms of getting to deep parts of competitions. I think he deserves that credit, and I think I'd like to start this by saying that. And I hope that people do remember Gareth Southgate for positive reasons. I think when we were in the Euros, I think I was sitting there at times thinking, I think the crowd looked like they're on the verge of being toxic, but I think that's just down to the way that we played. And I think you look at players that he's picked, and I think that if you flip it and you turn it from what I've just said there was all positive, but I just think one of the things when you're picking it apart and you're dissecting it is maybe his mentality and the tactics that he used, definitely in this tournament, I would go as far to say has stifled the players. And I watched a lot of the games live and very closely went over them from an analysis point of view. I don't think we should even be talking about Foden or Palmer or Kane individuals and go through like that, or Bellingham. I think this is about the team and how the team should be playing and how the team should be deployed to go out there and play as a team. Yes, play your best players, but get your team playing a way of football that actually contributes to getting the best out of each and every individual. And I think that's where you look at Spain in this tournament compared to England. Spain had every one of their players playing at their optimum, at their best, because they're playing a system that they all trust and believe in, but also that actually enhances their performance, allows them to produce their best football. I could go through all of our players, bar maybe one or two, but Gay performed and overperformed consistently well. But others, I think and Saka got somewhere near, I think. But all the others, I think, were playing below their standard, definitely weren't consistent at all in any of the way that they played. We didn't see any of our players playing anywhere near or above what they would do for their clubs. And I think the manager has to take that falls on the manager, because some of it falls on the players. But I don't care who you are, unless you're maybe Messi or Ronaldo when they're in their pomp at their best. And even them, to a certain extent, we all need a framework to perform within that will allow us to be the best we can be. And I just don't think that we were allowed that. If I break it down, I've done this on BBC the other day after the game, and you might have switched off because people were either drowning their sorrows or head in their hands or whatever. Two players is a good example. You've got Harry Kane, top goal scorer in Germany, 40 plus goals last season, a wonderful season, right, individually. But no one question him about his ability at all, right? Comes to the Euros, doesn't perform in terms of performance, doesn't play well. That's not the Harry Kane we know, right? And we love, even in the England shirt. You flip that. So one player, I pulled out the hat, Cucurella. End of the tournament turns up. Best left back in the tournament. And sets up the winning goal in the final. And performs consistently through the tournament. Above what we've seen in the last season. Look at his club form. Almost ridiculed and laughed at and in and out of the team at Chelsea. Waste of money, people are saying. But he's gone from doing that at Chelsea to going to a team where the manager understands what he can deliver, and the team is playing a brand and a style of football that is conducive to him to producing his best football. And you can go through their team they're doing that. Dani Olmo doing the same, if not more than what he was doing at RB Leipzig. Yamal, the same, if not more. Nico Williams, the same, if not more. Morata, the same, if not more than what he was doing at club level. He's getting the same or more out of them in a national shirt than what he does at a club in their club team. And so, as I said, that's where I think Gareth Southgate has fallen short in his inability. And by the way, small margins, by the way. They're in the final and they're a clearance off the line from going into extra time. All right. But we said this at the beginning of the tournament. That's why there was a lot of criticism at the beginning of the tournament. There was a lot of criticism in the group stages because we weren't performing. Players weren't playing as well as we know they can. The team weren't playing up to the style of football that we know that they can play and that we'd expect to see from those players. But we all said it. And some of the media, including myself, were kind of looked at and said, oh, you're being too harsh. We all said this, a lot of us said the same thing. If you're going to play that style of football on the back foot and be a reactive team to when you go behind, and then start firing, and then start pushing on, and then start taking risks, then start playing a bit more courageous. If you're going to wait till you go behind to do all those things, and you're going to play very conservative, right, and almost hope type football, with this pool of players that we've got, the talent that we have, if you're going to do that, then you're going to be open to criticism if you don't win it. You're only going to get away with that, playing like that with that great pool of talent that we have, if you win it. And unfortunately, we didn't win it. And then that's where the problem lies for someone like Gareth Southgate, is that the resignation comes and a change of manager comes because, as I said, I think he knows as well. It's hard, man, to be the England manager. The stress and pressure these guys are under, it is difficult. And I think if a team is looking very, very rigid and very, very stiff in the way that they're playing, and almost they've got the shackles on and they're holding them, see them held back a little bit, it's hard for any individual player to perform within that. And that's why I'm more looking at the manager in this situation than the players. A lot of people go, it's the players though. They got to make the decisions. And no, your manager gives you the structure. He gives you the infrastructure to go out there and perform. He gives you the game plan, and you follow that. And you go out there and you do it to your best capabilities. But if that framework and that infrastructure isn't suiting and allowing you guys to go and perform with the freedom that you normally get, then we're not going to see those players that we perform at their club play the same for England in England's shirt. And I think that's got to be the remit of the FA. If I was going and talking to anybody in the FA on that committee now, on that panel, we were going to be deciding who's next. I'll be saying you want somebody who can keep the environment the same because it's positive, but I want somebody who can come in and get the best out of these players. You want your flair players, your people at the top of the pitch, to be getting loads of the ball and sustained pressure upon the opponent and territorial advantage. That's what the best teams do now. But also, if you have to play another way, like Real Madrid done in the Champions League, if you have to play the other way, roll your sleeves up and sacrifice a bit of territorial advantage every now and again, you can do it that way as well. That's the perfect scenario, and we've got to be looking for perfect because we're close. We're not far off it. And the fact that Gareth Southgate is going to be able to walk out of his England tenure as a manager with his head held high says it all. Because how many managers have we seen when Capello leaves, Sven-Göran Eriksson leaves, Steve McLaren leaves, all these people leave under a cloud. They've left under a cloud. This manager, Gareth Southgate, will not be leaving under a cloud. Yes, there'll be questions, but there won't be a cloud, I'm telling you that. So I hope he goes and enjoys the next phase of his career, whatever he chooses to do. And I hope that the next England manager comes in and picks up where he left off and can add a bit of stardust to it and ignite a bit of flair into this team that makes him a little bit more exciting to watch and gets us over the line to win one of these trophies that we've been trying to win. All right. Guys, thank you very much. And I'm seeing you soon. This is Rio Reacts.